Please adhere to YouTube's selected guidelines before viewing the content of this video. I do not encourage or condone any products, actions, or behaviors shown in this video. All videos are produced in a safe, professional, and controlled environment. Please do not attempt to replicate any actions performed during the video. All actions are performed by professionals.
Alrighty, so today I, a cigarette smoker, am going to be trying a Vodka Sprite for the first time, which is a very simple mixed drink made, of course, with vodka, the alcohol, and with Sprite, the soft drink. And as a whole, I've heard some pretty good things about vodka Sprites in the past. I've heard that vodka mixes pretty well with Sprite, and I've been hearing that for the last couple years now. And so as such, for the last couple years now, for the last, I'd have to say 2 to 4 years now, I have wanted to try a vodka Sprite just to see, well, what it's actually like and whether it's as good as I've been told it actually is. And so as such, I am very excited to finally be trying a vodka Sprite for the first time today. Somehow, over the last couple years, I have forgotten to have one. I've been remembering that I just never go through with buying vodka and buying a Sprite, and I just end up forgetting to do it, but I've finally gone through with everything. I've got some vodka with me today. I've got some Sprite with me today. I'm very excited to try a vodka Sprite for the first time and to find out just how it's going to be and what it's going to be like, and to let y'all know as well. But what is the vodka I've got with me today? Well, today I have a bottle of Haku rice vodka from Japan. I bought this bottle at my local liquor store for around about $28 USD, if I am remembering correctly, and the vodka inside this bottle has an ABV of 40% and a proof of 80. This is the vodka I'm going to be trying today, and in my personal opinion, it's a pretty good mixer vodka, based off of one experience I've had mixing it previously. And I've tried sipping this vodka as well, and it's better than other vodka I've tried, although granted, I've only ever tried one other vodka. Other than this, that's not really saying too much now, is it? But this is the vodka I'm going to be using today, and of course today, to go along with my vodka, I have a can of Sprite. This is a 16 fluid ounce can of Sprite, which is of course a lemon lime soda with 100% natural flavors and no caffeine. I like Sprite a decent amount. It's not like my favorite soda ever, I'll admit. I am more biased towards root beer, but Sprite's pretty solid, and I like the tanginess of it, and I'm hoping it'll pair pretty well with the vodka, of course. But, yep, just got some basic modern Sprite with me today. It is a shame that they changed the can design of Sprite very recently. I'm now feeling kind of nostalgic for, like, the old design on Sprite cans and stuff like that, but I suppose I should probably stay on topic now, shouldn't I? But, of course, got some Sprite with me today, and I've also got myself a little bit of a spoon to mix with, along with a little bit of a 4th cup measuring cup to make sure I get all of the measurements exact and whatnot. And then I've also got my little bit of a glass right here. This is a Crown Royale glass. We can see on the bottom, it just says like Crown Royale and stuff like that kind of thing. And I got this glass at the thrift shop for like $1. Good deal if I do say so myself. But I do suppose, without further ado, I should probably go ahead and actually get to making my first ever vodka Sprite now, shouldn't I? So let's go ahead and move my camera back here just so I can show off what I'm doing, making my drink and everything like that. So now that I've done that, I'm going to go ahead and grab my measuring cup, and I'm going to go ahead and pour, I think, 1/4 cup of vodka. I think my plan today is to do a 1-to-4 ratio vodka to Sprite. If the 1-to-4 ratio doesn't work because this glass is too small, I'm just going to do a 1-to-3 instead. But that's my plan. I'm not doing a 1-to-1 ratio by any means, not doing a 1-to-2 ratio. I'm going for, at a minimum, a 1-to-3 ratio. So let's go ahead and pour myself just a little bit of vodka in this cup. And I'm just going to go and pour it in my glass. Just like that. And I think, honestly, that might have been a bit too much for this glass, but that is what it is. Nothing I can do about it now. I ain't wasting no vodka. I do not like wasting alcohol by any means, I'll acknowledge. So I'm drinking it no matter what. Now that I've got my Sprite all opened up as well, let's go ahead and pour. Oh, I just spilled a little bit, but that's okay. But I'm just going to go ahead and pour some of that. Now, I'll acknowledge, it has been like a year since the last time I had some Sprite. But I'm expecting I'm still going to like it. But it's been a while. It's been a fat minute since I last had some Sprite. Alright, 1-to-3 ratio. There's a 1-to-2 ratio already in the cup. 1-to-3 ratio. And I think I can go for a little bit more. It's going to be pretty full. So I'm just going to go for a 3.5 ratio. There we go, there we go. And there's our drink, y'all. You really cannot tell that there is any vodka in that at all. In all honesty, it really does look like there is. It's just clear. It really does just look like it's just Sprite, frankly put. You really cannot tell that there's any vodka in this at all. I'm going to go ahead and mix it up now. just very slowly because I did pour a bit too much, in all honesty. There we go, just like that. Just mixing it up. And thankfully, lots of bubbles. Some sodas, when you kind of mix them into, or some carbonated drinks, to say it correctly, when you mix them into alcohol, get very not carbonated anymore. Sprite appears to not have that problem at all, although Sprite is known for being like very, very, very carbonated. So I suppose that should be expected now, shouldn't it? The fact that it remains pretty carbonated while having alcohol in it, that should be kind of expected in all honesty. But I do suppose, without further ado, I should probably go ahead and take a sip of this drink right here, and I do suppose I should probably go ahead and find out just how my first ever vodka Sprite actually is. First off, though, I really can't smell any vodka at all. No, I really can't smell any. It's all Sprite. I'm just smelling Sprite in all honesty. Well, I do suppose, without further ado, y'all, it is now time, now that I've made my first ever vodka Sprite, it's time for me to go and take my first ever sip of vodka Sprite and find out just how it is. Yes, sir, you know what I'm saying? Oh, yeah. Okay, so the Sprite, I can definitely say, has lost a little bit of carbonation. But it's pretty solid. No, it's pretty good. You can definitely taste a little bit of the vodka through there, for sure. It's not entirely, the taste of the Sprite is not entirely covering up the taste of the vodka by any means. But it is still more covered up than not. It doesn't give me any sort of alcohol ickiness in the back of my throat. Initially, at least, it might get worse towards the very bottom, I'll acknowledge. But wow. No, I gotta admit, that at least the vodka I've got with me today, the Haku vodka, pairs very well with Sprite. Yeah, you can definitely tell there's a little bit of vodka, sort of medicine flavor under there. Like, the Haku vodka, in my personal opinion, has a very sort of like sake, like it's like a more intense sake flavor, and it's got very much that of a sort of somewhat sweet, rounded, smooth, almost sort of creamy, fruity flavor. When you're just sipping it very slowly, but then once you take like bigger sips, it becomes very much just medicine, and it just is not great because it's vodka. After all, you're not really meant to sip vodka. It's more of a mixer than anything. But while I'm not really getting too much of the flavor of like the real intricacies of the Haku vodka through the Sprite, I am still very much getting that rounded sort of flavor from it, the rounded sort of smooth flavor from the Haku vodka. It's not a rough flavor. It's not a flavor that is kind of making its own in the flavor of Sprite. It's not too distinct by any means. It's very easy to sip. It's very rounded, very smooth, and while you can't really taste any of the super specific details of the taste of the Haku vodka, it's most prominently Sprite. It's that most prominently sort of lemon lime carbonated, sort of slightly tangy flavor that Sprite gives you. You do still get like very much an undertone of, I'd have to say, a little bit of medicine, a little bit of smooth, a little bit of rounded sort of alcohol, which is very nice and is honestly quite pleasant. I gotta admit, that's pretty nice. I'm personally a big fan of rum and cokes. I would have to say rum and cokes are probably my favorite, just easy to make mixed drink as of this moment in time. But you know, I'm thinking this might become a number 2. I really am thinking this might become a number 2 because honestly, it tastes good. It's got no caffeine in it either. I mean, like, it's got sugar in it, but it's got no caffeine, so I'm not gonna be like super wide awake combining caffeine and alcohol, which sometimes can give me anxiety if I have too much caffeine, I'll acknowledge. I tried a vodka monster a little while back, and after that, I was feeling great, like, during that video and whatnot, but like 2 hours afterwards, I started having really, really, really bad anxiety. And the only thing different that day was the fact that I had caffeine and alcohol. So, yeah, I don't think I'm doing that again. But, you know, I have faith that this will not give me any anxiety because Sprite has no caffeine in it. And tastes good, you know? Excuse me. I gotta admit, it's pretty nice. This is not the most interesting mixed drink in the world. Now, don't get me wrong. It's a mixture of vodka and Sprite, and that's literally all it is. But... it's nice. It's not bad by any means. Definitely as you get a little bit lower, you might notice a little bit more sort of vodka flavor. And the more I sip, the more I do think I am getting some of the undertones from the vodka. But it's not really distinct enough to make you realize that it's the undertones from the vodka. The really only way you'd notice it is if you're really trying to pinpoint the flavors of the drink, or if you're sipping a vodka Sprite and a Sprite side to side, you're going to notice the difference in the flavor then. But yeah, the Haku vodka, this vodka that I've got with me today, which I personally think is a pretty good mixer, because it really does just flow so well with what I've tried mixing it with before, including the Sprite, of course. It just combines so well with it, where it's honestly harder than not to tell it's in there at times. And that's very much how it is with this. It's you can definitely tell there's something else in there, but the actual flavor of what else is in there is not super noticeable. Wow. I honestly think Vodka Sprite might have to be a might have to be a new go-to drink of mine. Rum and Cokes are really nice. I really like rum and Cokes. But, you know, it's nice to switch it up every once in a while. So it's honestly very tempting. It's honestly very tempting to get myself a 6-pack of Sprite or something like that kind of thing and just make some vodka Sprites next time I'm wanting myself a little bit of a mixed drink. I ain't gonna lie, y'all. It's very tempting. Definitely a little bit more vodka towards the bottom. That sort of rounded, smooth taste is definitely becoming more prevalent. The taste of the vodka in general is becoming a little bit more prevalent. And I'm starting to get just a little bit of sort of a, I'd have to say, sweet, smooth, sort of ricey medicine-like taste. And I was getting that kind of all throughout the drink. It just wasn't as prevalent as it is now. But wow. I gotta admit, I am impressed. I gotta admit, I am. Wow. No really roughness at the bottom either. Definitely a little bit more of a vodka taste at the bottom, as is pretty typical for any, like, alcohol soda mixed drink. There's generally a little bit more alcohol at the bottom than there is at the top, of course. But it really wasn't anything much. The Sprite really does do a very good job. Excuse me. The Sprite really does do a very good job at kind of toning down the strength of flavor of the vodka. I mean, like, in the Haku vodka, in my opinion, is a more mild vodka than not. Don't get me wrong. If you're making a vodka Sprite with a more intense vodka, I think it would probably be a bit more flavorful vodka-wise. I think the reason this combination works so well in this scenario is probably partly due to the vodka I use. I don't think every vodka is going to work super well with in a vodka Sprite by any means, but the Haku vodka certainly does. The taste of the Haku vodka combines quite well with the Sprite. Very smooth, nice taste. The Sprite covers up the flavor of the vodka quite well. I gotta admit, I got no complaints on my behalf. I got none. No complaints on my behalf. Nice flavor, to my personal preference, flavor-wise too. Smooth, not too much vodka taste. I can't complain. I can't complain, let me tell y'all what. I think I might mix myself up another one. It's tempting. It's tempting. Do I really want another one, though? I said I was gonna mix myself up another one, so, you know, I gotta be a man of my word, so I'm gonna do it. I'd be mixing myself up another one a little bit later if I didn't mix myself up one now anyway, because, well, I still got like half a can of Sprite left, so I'd might as well mix myself up another. I don't want to waste any Sprite, so I might as well do another, right? Whew, I am feeling a little bit buzzed, though. I can definitely say vodka Sprites do get you a little bit buzzed. Excuse me. Excuse me. And it's clear. You really can't tell you're drinking a vodka Sprite, in all honesty. Like some beverages, you make it and you're like, okay, I can tell there's something in there, kind of thing. But this one, you can't even tell. You can't even tell there's any vodka in there, because the color of the vodka just matches the color of the Sprite. Well, just perfectly, honestly. The only way you can really tell that this is a vodka Sprite is just because there's just a little bit less carbonation to the drink than there would be if it was just straight up Sprite. But honestly, that's another thing that I feel like I need to mention as well. I really do think the carbonation of the Sprite really does do such a good job of masking the taste of the vodka. Like some other alcohols become a little bit less, or some other, not alcohol, some other sodas become a little bit less carbonaty when you mix alcohol into them. Like they're just fine when you're drinking out of a can or out of a bottle or something like that kind of thing. But once you mix it in with some alcohol in a cup, it's just not super carbonaty anymore kind of thing. It kind of feels like it's a little bit flat. And while that's not really too big of an issue with Coke, per se with Coca-Cola, it has been an issue for some other things in the past, like let's say a ginger beer. In my opinion, ginger beer just gets a little bit flat. It's not a big deal by any means. It still tastes good, but it does get a little bit flat once you kind of mix it in with some alcohol. But Sprite is like super carbonated. It's more carbonated than ginger beer. It's more carbonated than Coca-Cola. It's one of the most carbonated soft drinks on the market today, in my personal opinion. And due to the extreme amount of carbonation, it just gets taken down to a more normal level in a cup with some vodka. Man, I can't imagine how a McDonald's vodka... I gotta try that. A McDonald's Sprite vodka Sprite. I gotta try, because like McDonald's Sprite, that stuff's just built different. Like, this is Sprite out of a can. Like, Sprite out of a can is carbonated enough, but Sprite at like McDonald's, oh my God, it's like super carbonated. Like, it's literally different than other Sprite in my opinion. It's super carbonated. Vodka McDonald's Sprite. Yo, I gotta try that. I ain't gonna lie, y'all. Excuse me. I think I can say I like vodka Sprites. I think I can. I've never really been one for vodka. Just my first experience with vodka messed me up. I had some Tito's. Tito's, my personal opinion, I don't like it. I don't like Tito's. This Haku vodka, though, I had a much better experience with it. And I think if this was made with Tito's, I would probably not like it. Just because Tito's, disgusting. I think it has a horrible flavor. But with the Haku vodka, it's to my personal preference, I will acknowledge. And I am feeling a little bit buzzed from the alcohol, I ain't gonna lie, y'all. Yeah, overall, my experience with my second ever Vodka Sprite is pretty much identical to my first ever experience with Vodka Sprite. It's, to say the least, very much that of a smooth experience with really not much taste of vodka that does still have a little bit of vodka in there, but it's actually just adding a little bit of flavor that isn't bad by any means. And it's to my personal preference, I'll acknowledge. It's to my personal preference. Yeah. Well, having now tested whether I like vodka, I'm feeling a little buzzed. I'm actually feeling really buzzed. I'm a lightweight when it comes to alcohol, I'm gonna lie, y'all. But, having now tested whether I like vodka Sprites or not, and having now tested vodka Sprites, not just once, but twice, do I like them? Yeah, I'd have to say I do. I would have to say I do. I ain't gonna lie, y'all. To my personal preferences, at least. What's the rating I would give a vodka Sprite? Ooh. Before that, I think I'm going to give you guys my final thoughts. Because I'm almost done with this drink, and I think I've pretty much said everything I wanted to say. So overall, do I personally like vodka Sprites? I do. Do I personally think I would make another vodka Sprite in the future? I do. Would I buy vodka and Sprite specifically to make a vodka Sprite in the future? I think I would. Yeah, it's to my personal preference, I'll acknowledge, and I think it's probably honestly, a solid second place right behind rum and cokes when it comes to alcohol and soft drink mixed drinks. Excuse me. What is the rating I want to give a vodka Sprite, though? You know, I'm thinking a solid 4 out of 4. Like, for me, rum and cokes are a solid 4 out of 4. And I'm thinking a vodka Sprite deserves a solid 4 out of 4 as well. For me, that's like masterpiece of a mixed drink kind of thing. Like, covers up the taste of the alcohol, but you still get a little bit through it. But it's like a really nice, pleasant taste that you like aren't like all like icky about and everything like that kind of thing. Like a 1 out of 4 is like, man, this sucks kind of thing. A 2 out of 4 is like, it's not to my personal preference, but A 3 out of 4 is like, you know, it's okay. You know, maybe I'd do this again, but kind of thing. And a 4 out of 4 is like, man, this is like the best thing ever. This is like right behind a rum and coke for me, and I like my rum and cokes, I ain't gonna lie, y'all. Yeah, gotta admit. A solid 4 out of 4 for vodka Sprites. 4 out of 4. I'm a fan. I'll acknowledge. I'm a fan. Remember, y'all, drink safely. Have some water. I have some water with me today. I'm gonna take a sip of water. Drink safely, y'all. Drink in moderation. Don't drink too much. Drink safely. Gotta say it because I don't want to Gotta say it because drinking too much is bad. Of course. So drink in moderation. I think this is going to be my last drink of the day. But overall, I'd have to say, solid experience. Certainly no complaints on my behalf. And I certainly hope you guys have enjoyed watching. I think I said everything I wanted to say. And I certainly hope you guys have enjoyed watching this video. Vodka Sprite. Yeah, I think y'all will be seeing me drink many more of these in the future, I ain't gonna lie. I think y'all will be seeing me drink many more of these in the future. Hope you guys have enjoyed watching today's video. If you guys have enjoyed watching today's video, of course, please make sure to like and subscribe for more content. I have my Instagram, my book, my merch, my P.O. Box, and my other channels all in the description down below. Go check them all out. But yeah, thank you so much for watching this video, guys. Till the next one, stay safe in peace and have a great one. Yes, sir, you know what I'm saying?